You know that feeling? When you really want to get something, like truly understand it deep down.
Oh, yeah. Not just knowing facts, but really mastering it.
Exactly. We're talking about building a mind that's strong, capable, confident, almost formidable, in a good way. That resilience to tackle anything.
That's a great goal. And it really speaks to genuine intellectual growth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Developing the mental muscle, not just collecting info.
Totally. And for this deep dive, we got into a really interesting chat from the Fluent Minds English podcast.
With Emma and Dr. James Carter.
That's the one. He's a motivational speaker and English learning coach. Now, obviously, they were focused on language.
Right.
But the ideas, they're so much bigger. It's like a blueprint for building mental strength for, well, anything you're learning or facing.
It's fascinating, actually, how his advice, tailored for language, hits on these core cognitive things.
Yeah.
Emotional regulation, focus, stuff that matters everywhere.
Yeah, the psychology of learning, it seems pretty universal sometimes.
Definitely.
So, our mission today, let's really break down that conversation, pull out the key stuff. We want to give you, the listener, a practical toolkit, basically. How to build that resilience, that focus, that confidence for whatever you're working on.
Sounds good. Where do we start defining that strong mind?
Perfect. So when Dr. Carter talks about building a strong mind, what's he actually What are the key bits?
Okay, so he talks about a few interconnected things. First, mental toughness, like sticking with it when things get difficult, intellectually speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Then clarity. Being able to focus your thoughts, not get swamped. Discipline, obviously doing the work consistently. And a big one, emotional strength, managing the frustration, the anxiety.
That all makes sense.
But he really hammers home resilience, especially for learners. That mindset of just keeping going, even when you mess up, feel insecure, hit a wall.
Resilience.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge. We all hit those points, don't we? Feeling stuck, making mistakes, wanting to just pack it in.
Absolutely. And often that urge to quit, it's tied to just discomfort or judging ourselves harshly for a mistake.
Right.
So Dr. Carter's saying, keep going even when you're unsure. That's vital. Because that's where the real learning happens, isn't it? In that uncomfortable zone.
We avoid it, though. That feeling of not quite getting it.
We do. It's natural. He also mentioned something else that really clicked for me. That feeling of, I know it, but I can't do it.
Oh, yeah. Like you understand the theory, but putting it into practice, blank. He said that's often not about lack of knowledge, right? It's more...
It's the mind. Fear, basically. A mental block stopping you from using what you actually know.
That's such a useful way to think about it. Shifts the problem.
Exactly. It's not just, I need more information. It's maybe, I need to deal with this fear of judgment or this need to be perfect right away. It's about the mental roadblocks, not just intellectual gaps.
Okay, so if it's about roadblocks, how do we start, taking them down? He gave some practical steps, didn't he? 3 main things.
He did. 3 very actionable things. First, talk every day. Engage with the subject matter actively. Even just thinking it through out loud to yourself. Practice thinking in it.
Okay. Makes sense. Active engagement. What's second?
Second, fail proudly.
Fail proudly. I like that. It sounds rebellious.
It kind of is. It's about consciously deciding that mistakes aren't shameful. They're just feedback, data. You could even laugh at them.
So change your whole relationship with errors.
Exactly. See them as signposts, not stop signs. It frees you up to experiment more, take risks, which, speeds up learning. It's that growth mindset idea.
Okay. Talk daily, fail proudly, and the third.
Train your focus intentionally. Cut out distractions. Really dive deep into learning activities. He suggested maybe doing one hard thing, one really focused task each day.
Train your focus like building a muscle. Mental stamina.
Precisely. Think about it. We're bombarded constantly. Being able to direct your attention, that's becoming rare. It's valuable. So doing that focus work, even short bursts, strengthens that cognitive muscle like a deep work.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but what about the feeling, that feeling of not being good enough when you're struggling, that lack of confidence? How did Dr. Carter address that?
He totally gets it. He acknowledged that learning is vulnerable. Feeling inadequate is normal, but his reframe is really quite empowering.
Okay.
He says struggling with something hard doesn't mean you're less. It actually shows you're brave enough to tackle something difficult. He used that gym analogy.
Ah, yes, the gym analogy. I like that.
Lifting weights feels hard. It's uncomfortable. That's the sign your muscles are growing, getting stronger. Intellectual struggle, same idea. It's growth happening.
That really clicks. You don't expect to lift the heaviest weight on day one. It's a process, building intellectual muscle.
Exactly. And he added another point. People who are already fluent or experts, they usually respect learners. They know the effort involved.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah. So he basically says, stop being ashamed. Be proud you're even doing it. Own the process.
Own the process. I like that. It takes the pressure off perfection. Now, he also talked about motivation versus discipline. Why was that distinction important?
Ah, yes. Crucial distinction. He pointed out that motivation, well, it's fickle. It's a mood. Comes and goes.
Totally unreliable.
Right. Discipline, though, that's different. That's the habit, the routine. Doing it whether you feel like it or not. Relying only on motivation, it's just not sustainable for the long haul.
He gave that language learning example, like just do 20 minutes a day, every day, even when you're tired or bored.
Exactly. And that consistency, those small efforts compounded, that's what builds progress. That's what creates that impressive, focused mind over time. Not waiting for inspiration.
And that applies everywhere, right? Any skill, any big project. It's the consistent grind, not just the flashes of brilliance.
Absolutely. Look at any major achievement. It's almost always built on discipline, on showing up day after day. That relentless focus, driven by commitment. That's powerful.
He called that kind of focus a superpower, especially now.
He did. And it makes sense, doesn't it? In this age of constant pings and notifications,
Oh, yeah.
being able to tune it out, guard your attention, and just focus, that gives you a massive edge in learning and work in anything meaningful.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly. Another big hurdle for learners, that fear of sounding stupid, being judged. What was his take on that?
A very liberating take, actually. He basically said, relax. Most people are way too busy worrying about themselves to spend much time judging you.
Huh. Probably true. We're the main character in our own movie.
Exactly. Everyone's wrapped up in their own stuff. Recognizing that can take a lot of the pressure off.
Oh, yeah.
Just put yourself out there.
And he specifically mentioned accents, too, which applies beyond language, I think. Embracing your unique learning voice.
Yeah, that's great. Don't see an accent or maybe, a slightly awkward way of explaining a new concept as a flaw. See it as proof of your journey. It tells a story. It shows you're expanding your world.
Embrace the learning voice. I like that.
It connects to the idea that mistakes, those pauses, the accent, maybe needing to rephrase, it's not failure. It's evidence. Evidence you're in the arena, learning, growing.
Right. Tangible signs of engagement, not something to hide.
Precisely. Own them. It actually shows strength, not weakness. A mind that's willing to be imperfect while it evolves.
Okay, but what about when you are being disciplined?
Yeah.
You are putting in the effort, but you just feel stuck, like you've hit a wall. That's so demoralizing.
Oh, totally. He acknowledged that feeling, the plateau. But his reassurance was that often the biggest changes are happening inside, under the surface, before you actually see the results.
The brain is busy behind the scenes.
Yeah. He used the phrase rewiring. It's
Yeah.
complex work the brain is doing. It takes time. It won't always feel like progress day to day, even when significant learning is happening.
So when you hit that plateau, the advice is just keep going. Maintain the consistency.
Exactly that. Keep showing up. Keep
Yeah.
speaking, reading, practicing, whatever it is, even small amounts, daily. That consistency is key. His main point was really the only true failure is just quitting.
Just stop altogether.
Right. Pushing through those plateaus, that's often where the breakthroughs are waiting.
Okay. So we build this resilience, this focus, this discipline. How do we know when we've actually got it? That strong mind we talked about at the start. What's the sign?
According to Dr. Carter, the real sign is internal. It's when you notice you don't feel that constant need anymore.
Need for what?
The need to prove yourself,
Yeah.
to get external validation all the time. Your confidence starts coming from, just knowing your stuff,
Yeah.
from your actual competence.
Ah, okay. So it's less about seeking approval from outside
Yeah,
and more about an inner sense of capability. You live with intention. Your presence speaks for itself. You're not constantly trying to impress people.
exactly. It's a quieter confidence, more grounded. It just
Yeah.
emerges. It's a natural result of building that internal strength and resilience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really profound place to get to. So let's recap quickly. It's about mindset, first and foremost.
Definitely.
Then those practical steps. Daily engagement, failing proudly, training focus, overcoming that fear of judgment, valuing discipline over just waiting for motivation,
Right. Trusting the process, even during plateaus.
and recognizing that real strength shows up as this quiet internal confidence, no more needing to constantly prove yourself.
You got it. All pieces of the puzzle for building that strong, resilient approach to learning and really to life's challenges.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. What's one small, consistent action you could start today? Just one thing to begin strengthening that mental muscle for whatever you're learning or tackling.
And maybe reflect on this too. How would shifting your focus away from immediate perfection and more towards just embracing the process, the ups and downs, how might that change things for you long term?
Really good questions. It's about playing the long game, focusing on growth over instant results.
Exactly. Moving from performing to learning.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope these insights from Dr. Carter give you some useful tools for your own learning journey, whatever shape that takes.